You are listening to the Icehouse Podcast, hosting conversations with gritty Kiwi business owners and leaders and industry-leading minds.
Kia ora everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Icehouse Podcast. Before we got into it, I just wanted to take a moment to say that the Icehouse team are really thinking of alumni and community members that have been affected by the recent cyclones and weather events. We're thinking of you guys. If we can do anything to support you and your team, please let us know. This week's episode is with Simon Bell. He is a Leadership Development Program alumni. He's based in Ashburton. His father, Bruce Bell, did the Owner-Manager Program in 2005, so a few years ago now. But great to see the legacy and the generational business coming through the Icehouse. This conversation is all about that, how family business dynamics work, his learnings as a leader, what he got out of the program, and also where the media industry is heading with the likes of AI and digital technology. I'm sure you'll like this episode. Let's jump into the recording now. Hello everybody, welcome to the Icehouse Podcast. My name is Bryar Stewart. I'm the Community Manager at the Icehouse, and today I'm in Christchurch. I'm recording some podcasts with some local business owners. Today we have Simon Bell with us, who is actually from Ashburton. He is the Project Manager and co-owner of Ashburton Guardian, and I'm looking forward to having a chat with you, Simon, about your leadership journey. So thanks heaps for being on the podcast.
Thanks, Bri. Great to be here.
Awesome. Let's get into it, eh? Quick fire. I'm going to ask the question. What's your coffee order?
What's my coffee order? Yes. My coffee order at the moment is just a cappuccino with chocolate on top.
Nice.
Haven't quite grasped the concept of someone adding cinnamon.
Yeah.
And due to getting into my 30s now, I'm exploring different options of milk, so not coughing as much. So
yeah,
well into the adulting life.
That is adulting right there. What does a day in the life of Simon look like? Walk us through that.
Yes, it's pretty hectic. There's generally quite a bit of travel, client meetings, phone calls, lots of emails, reception duties, helping the sales team out, and organising events.
Awesome.
And just getting out there and amongst the public.
Yeah.
And pretty much as soon as the phone goes, I'm onto it half the time if the receptionist is away. So pretty busy at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. When are you most relaxed on the other side of that?
Most relaxed would be with friends and family. I also like to play a bit of sports. So I'm playing tennis at the moment.
Oh, cool.
So that's a good way to unwind during the week.
Yeah.
And have been playing squash as well. So I hope to get back out there winning again. So
cool. Did you watch the Aussie Open then?
I did. Yeah. What a match.
Nice.
Stayed up till midnight.
Yeah.
Watched it. But, great to see those guns. How talented they are.
Yeah, exactly. Very cool. What is a book or a podcast that you recommend?
Yeah, so a book would be The Barefoot Investor.
Such a good book.
Such a great book.
Set me up for anyway, you go. This is about you, not me.
No one really teaches you that sort of stuff in the school system growing up. And it is Australian. It does have a lot of relevance to New Zealand. Yeah. And podcast, been listening to one called Keep the Change at the moment. So it's more about financial help and just to what to do with your life and your and money and everything that pops up.
Yeah, awesome. That's really cool. If you wrote a book tomorrow, loving this new question that I've thrown in here. If you wrote a book tomorrow, what would it be about?
Yes, I was discussing this morning with my partner. What would it be about? I think it'd have to be something about the history, of the family business and sort of the changing environment of the media industry. Came up with the name Guardian of the Plains.
Oh, I like it.
Mid Canterbury being nice flat farming land.
Yeah.
And having the brand name there. So
brilliant.
Something along the lines of that. Probably
sounds like it's it could be a thing that comes to life in the next year. I love it. Favorite thing about growing up in a smaller town?
Yes, it's got that real community sort of feel. You do know everyone, and everyone knows you, and you know their family members and what they do. Yeah. It's great, having relationships from school. It's easy to build rapport with potential clients and customers.
True.
You've known them for such a long time.
Yes.
So it's just that real community feel and community buzz.
Yeah. Is Ashburton one of those places where everyone actually knows everyone?
It is.
Yeah,
Yes,
I can imagine. Or an easy like connection point with most client meetings and things like that.
Yeah, or you know of someone, or
Yeah.
it's just the small town New Zealand.
Yeah, it's the nature of it. It's so cool. Well, I like to jump into sort of some of the deeper questions, starting with this one. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Simon, and what you're passionate about.
Yeah, so on a personal note, I'm passionate about squash and tennis. I've been following Formula One at the moment on Netflix.
Awesome. Drive to Survive?
Drive to Survive. Managed to go to the Formula One about 5 or so years ago with the old man, so that was a great experience.
Cool.
Passionate about social media and Facebook, and that ever developing piece of work, and also just socialising with friends and family.
Very cool. I like that. Let me get this right. So your old man, your dad, his name is Bruce
Yes.
Bell, and he did our owner manager program. I want to say 18 years ago or something like that. Would that be right? He did it a while ago.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
cool. And so family business. So Bruce founded it.
No, I'm actually the 5th generation.
Oh,
so
wow.
It'll be coming up 144 years this year.
Wow, that's
So
incredible.
it'll be great granddad.
Who started it?
Yes.
Can you unpack that journey? So unpack what the family businesses look like from your perspective, and then your like how you got into the family business as well.
Yes. So growing up, when we were kids, me and my sister, we would work at the print factory. So we would put newspapers together. They call it collating. Before technology came along, and there was a machine which could actually do the majority of that. In the school holidays, I would work on the printing machines, loading up the ink, and cleaning the print site. And my sister would work as a journalist in the school holidays.
Oh, wow.
Alongside her schoolwork.
Cool.
And when we were kids as well, a couple of times it snowed, we'd have to go out and deliver in the snow. So pretty much since we were a young age, I was always destined to eventually have this amazing opportunity, and sort of worked in various other jobs after finishing uni in Dunedin. And then this opportunity came along. I thought, right, I'll give it a crack now. I've probably learnt some other skills outside of what I need to do. Try bring those skills into the family business and make a real good go of it.
What does that family business feel or dynamics look like for you? Was it obviously quite a long process of being involved in the fabric of the day-to-day jobs?
Yes.
What does it look like for you as more and more responsibility has come your way?
It's you've got a real sense of purpose. I think in since becoming co-owner middle of last year, the stress has definitely arisen, and your workload has ever risen as well. It's just trying to take everything on board, and particularly through the Icehouse, they suggested a couple of things which have been a real helping hand.
Awesome.
Which I wouldn't have known before.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's too overwhelming. But ways to cope with your workload and your family, social, and work-life balance.
Absolutely, yeah. Cool. No, we'll do a deep dive into that soon. On that, you said the word purpose.
Yes.
What motivates you to get out of bed every morning, or what is that sense of purpose for you?
Yes, so it's essentially what we want to achieve over the next 12 months, particularly in that technological space. The print media, we've got some very loyal customers, but due to the nature of natural attrition and the age demographic that enjoy print media, it's not sustainable over the long term. So we're constantly having to look for other ways on the online space to further enhance our brand offering.
Wow. So you're quite passionate from the perspective of digital and socials and things like that.
Correct. Yeah. Just how we can make this product sustainable for another 144 years.
Yeah, totally. And that's the amazing thing about family generational business, is that every single generation that picks it up and runs with it has their perspective and their fresh insight into new technology. You know, maybe when Bruce was doing it, it was the technology that actually collated the papers together.
Yes.
That was game changer. Now it's social media and how we're going to have that digital impact. Quite cool that through every generation, the person that picks it up runs with it. You know, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I know. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's a never changing beast. The media, you know, what we live in today.
Yes, for sure. Touching on that family business dynamic, it can be make or break to a well-performing business. Is there any advice that you have for that father-son duo and working really productively together?
Yes, so Dad, he's been an excellent sounding board, just because he's been involved with the business the majority of his life. So any ideas we come up with, I always check with what's worked in the past and how to make this work well in today.
Awesome.
Also just running any innovative ideas or anything else we like to do, and just drawing on his experience as, you know, previous business owner, and he's also been in the same position as me with Granddad.
True.
Running the business when he was coming through as well. So it's actually, although at times it can be tough, but overall I think it's good to have him there.
Yeah, that's really cool. Nice. I like that. What's a current challenge that you're looking to overcome this year?
Yeah, so it's just further enhancing and building our online model. We are trying to monetize our social media following.
Yeah.
So in Mid Canterbury, we've got the biggest Facebook following in the region.
Wow.
The second being a notice board page, which is anyone can jump on there and talk about their neighbour's dogs.
Yes.
But, having some
Yes, of course. Yeah.
sort of, you know, credibility behind it. That's what we're sort of looking to overcome.
Awesome.
And also, like everyone else, looking for key staff. It seems to be every industry, every person you talk to, not enough staff.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Yeah. Can you explain to me how media works for you guys? So, you know, you said the phone's ringing, that sort of thing. Do people call in with stories? Do you have journalists out on the ground? What does it look like day to day from that local media perspective?
We've got a team of journalists, but we are looking for more. We publish 3 days a week, so every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday.
Wow.
So generally one day would be, right, we've got a paper to get out tomorrow, so it's very much deadline driven.
Wow.
The days in between is a lot more relaxed, or, you know, you can work on sort of projects and things coming up. And then we have a monthly farming publication, which goes to every farm in the South Island.
Oh, wow.
That's a piece which we expanded last year in terms of the circulation, and that's actually drawing some national media interest, which is great.
Yeah.
To grow their presence in the South Island. So
absolutely. Yeah, no, that's really cool. On that, how do you celebrate success? You know, you're producing content quite frequently throughout the week. What to you is a moment where you go, okay, this is worthy of a celebration, and then how do you celebrate that?
Yeah, so with the team, we're lucky enough our office is based above a lovely cafe. So we go there most times, you know, coffee shout, and then just down the road is a local Spates Ale House. So we have gone there for Christmas and to celebrate success.
Cool.
We went to the Voyager Media Awards last year and was lucky enough to come up runner-up Community Newspaper of the Year.
Awesome.
And now we know what we need to do to hopefully get the title, but yeah, that was an incredible event in Auckland.
Yeah.
Being in the same room as the likes of Paddy Gower and Samantha Hayes, and I managed to just say hello to Tova O'Brien, and she mentioned, I saw you guys got an award tonight, congratulations. And
very cool.
a lot of those journalists start in these smaller regional community papers before they move up to, you know, the big companies like the NZME and stuff, and the Herald. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So that was great to be punching well above our weight.
Yeah. For sure.
What people say the All Blacks do, but to be in the same room as those guys you see on TV all the time, it's like, wow, what we're doing here could actually, you know,
it's impacting people. Yeah, that's so cool. I love to hear that, and I'm sure it gave your team a good, you know, just buzz of fresh inspiration and excitement for what they do in the community.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you how did the process go in terms of you hearing about the Icehouse and the owner manager program? Did that come from Bruce?
It did initially, yes. He went on this course, probably 18, 20 years ago, and he said it was the best thing he's ever done for his business career.
Awesome.
And he kept banging on about this Icehouse, and then actually a local client of ours, I catch up with him on a regular, and he said, you need to do this. Like, this will help your career.
Wow.
This will help, drive results. And so went along.
Awesome.
Didn't really know what to expect, and so glad I did it.
Did it feel like the first day of school all over again? You walk into the class of strangers being like, hi, like, it's funny, I hear that quite frequently, just being like, I honestly felt like I was starting school again,
It does, I felt a bit nervous actually, but once you got there, you realised that everyone else was in the same boat. And there were people there in their early 20s to, sort of 40s, 50s, so it was a wide range of people from different jobs and different aspects of life. So
totally, yeah. I actually remember calling Bruce. It was probably like two years ago, introducing myself, just being like, "Hey, I'm Bryar, the Icehouse. Fairly new here, and just wanted to connect with some older alumni and those that had done the program." And he brought you up, and he said, "I've got a son, Simon. He's coming up, and I'm really pumped to have. I'd like to get him on one day." And so it's quite cool sitting here now, seeing that happened, and that you've been on the program, and now get to speak the same language with him, and have that fresh insight into leading a business, which is really cool. Yes. You mentioned though you're a bit nervous. Were there any hesitations for you when he said, "Let's jump on the program," or you decided to go on the program? Yeah,
because I've been working in the company full-time about 3.5 years now, and sort of felt that that's probably I'm a bit too young, or probably can't make much of an impact. That was initially, I was a bit concerned around getting the most out of it.
Yeah.
But I met with Amon, and he was like, "Well, we've actually got this leadership development one before the owner manager one, so that's probably a better
fit. Yeah.
Better fit at this stage." And everyone else there was in similar sort of roles.
And
once we'd finished, I'd actually timed the day we became a co-owner was the last day we did the presentation for the LDP. So I was like, awesome, like, here we go. You've done the course now, straight into it.
Yeah, how cool is that?
What can you do?
Yeah, that's really cool. And to be honest, like someone I'm recording a podcast with later today did that. They did LDP, and then they, a few years later, did OMP, owner manager program. So it's quite cool now having the ownership piece to have that opportunity as well. But was there anything that you went, great, I'm going to implement this into the business or into my lifestyle straight away, that you learned from the program?
There was, it was great how it was sort of spread out over 3 months. So you'd do a course, and then you'd go to your workplace. We spoke a lot about having a courageous conversation, internally and externally. We made a couple of key business decisions where a property publication, been running for a while, had sort of been running at a loss, and we're like, well, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
What's the point? We're putting all this effort into it.
Yeah.
And with the Icehouse, we played this finance game for about 4 or 5 hours. It was highly competitive. It was a board game. It was kind of like Monopoly, but on steroids.
Yeah.
And then I thought, geez, this is actually real life implications without knowing it. So we had to bid on a contract, and if we won the contract, we secured the work, and then we were able to pay our creditors and work out our invoicing for the next couple of months. And I was like, geez, this is some great learning here.
Totally. Yeah, very cool. I like that. It's very practical, real life, can refer it back to your day-to-day decision making as a leader. So I like that. That's cool. Anything from a lifestyle perspective? So you going, I just need, work-life balance or whatever, anything that you took away from the program on that?
Yes, last Friday I was a groomsman at a friend's wedding, just outside of Christchurch here, and I had to do a speech in front of 80 people. So I'd done the speech at home a couple of times, a few things had happened, and I ended up speaking last, and it was after dinner, so everyone had quite a few drinks, and I was getting quite nervous.
Yes.
So I actually just sat there. We'd done a resilience breathing exercise through the Icehouse, and just did that for a minute and actually calmed the nerves and was able to speak. So I was like,
wow,
that's that's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Just to have that in the back of your mind.
Yes.
And it worked. So
that's amazing, and thanks for like explaining that example too.
Yeah.
I'm a maid of honour at a wedding in 3 weeks, and I'm already nervous for my speech, so I can totally relate to that feeling. But yeah, like what a great practical example of using that resilience learning in your day-to-day life. I'm sure it comes in handy a lot in business as well. But
it does. Yeah.
no, that's really cool. Do you think you have learnt the art of leadership, or do you think you were born with it? What does that journey of leadership look like for you?
I think I've learnt it. I did study management at uni in Dunedin, over working various jobs to work under someone and then sort of understand, how different leadership styles, how this person would treat you like this, or how you felt when they treated you like that. So I think it's a learning stage. Yeah.
For sure, yeah. Is there anyone that's really inspired you, like going, wow, they're such a great leader, I really aspire to be like them, or even just learning from them?
I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. Maybe like Roger Federer, for example, like being a real inspiration for the sport of tennis, which I'm passionate about.
Totally.
And then they play for 4 hours and then able to string together some motivational stuff to inspire all the kids and the fans. Yeah.
My favourite, so my husband watches the tennis and is also a massive fan.
Oh, yes.
But my favourite bit's the interview after, because I just, exactly what you've said, I just love how they've played for 4, 5 sometimes hours, yet they still manage to put together a sentence that inspires, that wraps up the game really well. It's just so interesting. And anyway, definitely a great example of a leader, that's for sure. Asking quite an open question, what does community mean to you, and why is it important as a business leader?
What have I got here? A sense of belonging. We're all working together to produce and deliver a nationally recognised paper. And then being the voice of McKennabury, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of our community members, they'll come to us with a particular story, or they want us to follow up something for them.
Yeah, true.
And working in small town New Zealand, that's pretty crucial. And
Yeah, for sure. Going a little bit off script, but what did it look like for you through COVID? Was it actually a whole lot more work because you're trying to keep the community engaged, or was it less because there was less going on in the day-to-day worlds and on the streets and
COVID in particular, the first one was very tough for us. Basically overnight, once Jacinda had announced we're going into a 4-week lockdown, the majority of our advertisers pulled.
Yes, of
we
course.
actually had to change from a daily newspaper, so 6 days a week, to a 3-day.
Yes, yeah.
And you had to let some stuff go, which we tried so hard not to, but otherwise we wouldn't be here today. In terms of probably the other lockdowns, utilising our the delivery of the paper, that was essential to get these key messages out to our subscriber base.
Yeah.
And then using Facebook and our website, they were massive figures there.
Yeah, totally. And I'm sure accelerated that need for digital, right? And
yes.
That presence that you guys have built so well. So that's really great to hear. Would love to hear as well, what excites you the most about 2023 and where the business is heading?
A lot around that digital and social media piece. Yesterday we were discussing with some marketing people that we're working with about AI and the impact of that on writing stories.
Yes.
Which is quite hard to get your head around, but I really want to look more into that, and also partnering with local firms and growing nationwide. Yeah. We're also in talks with through the new NPA about doing a deal with Google It's going to be forced through legislation soon, just because these massive international guys have been, looking after all our social stuff, but then on selling that to create revenue. So there's going to be some political changes later this year.
Oh wow, yeah. And on that AI, because I've just discovered ChatGPT. I don't know if you've heard of it before. Yeah. It's pretty mind blowing. Like seriously mind blowing. I don't know if you've given it a go yet, but it's definitely a bit of a game changer for people. But I do think if used in the right way, can be a really effective tool to communicate with community. So it's going to be interesting to see where that space goes for social media, for journalists, for media, for everything really. So watch the space, eh?
Exactly. Yeah, exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. I love that view on it to go, okay, if it's used in the right way, ethically, the right mindset, with the right, intention to impact people, it could be used in a really efficient and really good way. If it's not...
Well, it's not all for like a school essay or
yeah.
an essay. Yeah.
If you've got your ethical hat on, then yes. If you don't, then it might be interesting in other ways. But no, totally. It is, especially in your space, really interesting thing to keep your head into. But yeah, thank you so much for unpacking what leadership looks like for you today. Also, congratulations on becoming co-owner. That's a massive feat in itself, and I'm really excited to see where this generational business goes and the legacy that you guys have. So appreciate you sharing your story today, Simon.
Thanks very much, Bryar. Thank you.